All right, welcome back to workshop. So yesterday we finished up learning about the metric, no, not metric, the market question or bottleneck constraint, how to fix it if you're a local market. Not that it's super important for us. Expand location, get more locations, offer to a new avatar, reserve for last, try a new marketing channel, etc. Then we started with the fourth potential bottleneck, which is the model, and Hormozi talked a lot about how the model might be fine. The model might be fine. Your goals and timeline and expectations are the problem. He said that changing business, changing industry is extremely risky, and it's likely that you'll just end up at the same plateau that you're currently at with your current knowledge and skills. So he's basically like, a lot of this stems from, why can't you do more? It's not worth it. I don't enjoy it anymore. And, and, Hormozi always is just like, well, would making more money in your business make it more enjoyable? And typically the answer is yes. So that's what the model is about, how to make more money from the current business model, or current business at least. The Mr. Panda story, the Panda Express guy, CEO and founder, who's now like a decabillionaire after 45 years of what seems from the outside to be a low leverage business, but if you play long enough, you can achieve extraordinary results. So where are we at for my papers? Here it is. Payback period, PBD. All right. Model. Building for scale versus building for speed, right? He's talking about the fastest way to get to $1 million a year. It's not the same way. That's probably the fastest way to get to 10 million. It's not the same way that's fastest to get to 100 million a year. So the models will change depending on what how big you want to grow the business and how much leverage you want to build in your knowledge and skills from the beginning of building the business correctly. So I'm interested more in what he's talking about. If he gives any concrete examples of the difference between building for speed and building for basically scale. He talked about, the foundation, laying the foundation of a skyscraper versus building a 2-story home. It's going to look way different at first, but over the long term, the skyscraper is going to be way bigger, obviously. Just expand your timeline. People wildly underestimate what is possible through consistently making progress towards a goal. I put overestimate on accident, should be underestimate. Okay, now we're gonna jump back in, and then I'll be back to recall in a little bit. All right, we got into the fifth kind of model here, and that is our fifth constraint potential, which is money. And this is, he said, is typically the biggest one. For most people, it's, why can't you do more? It's a money problem, because either the leads cost too much, or you're not getting enough. You have a sales problem, or you have a cash flow problem, or you have a lifetime gross profit problem, right? These are the 4 subdivisions within the money. And then he's giving basically questions to go through in order to identify the constraint. To identify your money constraint. And then the playbooks are actually set up mostly for these money questions and these money things. That is leads, sales, lifetime gross profit, and playbook. So he's giving a series of questions that, if this, then do this. If this and this is the problem, here's the playbook. Right. So we're starting with CAC. Is CAC about average? If CAC's about average, but but you can't afford the leads, right? Then you have a lifetime gross profit problem. If you have about average CAC and profit's good, but you can't afford to spend more, then you have a cash flow problem. If you if your CAC is high, then you have a lead or a sales problem or both. And then, yeah, that's what we got to. And then you take that, you take it to the problem, and then you use one of the playbooks to deconstrain it. Right, and he made a note on at the end of the model section, basically that you know, being good at marketing and sales is not enough to build something huge. This is the big difference. This is the big building a huge skyscraper versus building a home. Building for speed versus scale. It's really marketing and sales and being good at that, or actually having a product that or a business model that retains customers and builds a good reputation. This is the long-term big picture. This is the short-term fast money. So you want to have both, but really to build massive in the end, you probably want to have a good reputation, a compounding reputation, and a low churn rate. So then your business keeps growing and growing and growing, compounding. So if your customer loves your business, you'll compound. All right. That's basically it for today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.